Welcome to Fast 5, where our 4 panelists weigh in on 5 separate topics. Let's get started. Our first topic is Elon Musk confirms SpaceX is on track to send humans into space. What do you guys think about that one?
Yes, please. I'm ready.
Yeah, but
I'd like to go. Wait a minute. I'd like to go personally, and there's a couple people I'd like to send on one-way trips. Can we arrange both?
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing with the efficiency that Elon Musk is using with any of his companies is how the private sector is almost always better at doing anything than the government.
And who gave the private sector the money to do it? Okay? Who gave the private sector the money to do it? And NASA gave them the billions of dollars to do it.
And I would argue that NASA also gave them the technology.
Right.
That was, there are some things I believe, and I'm a limited government kind of guy, but there are some things that only government can do. And I think that, how many technologies that were created for wars or other issues like that have been put to use in private industry very successfully, just completely outside of what their original design was for, but it's worked out well.
The government has a technology transfer program,
yes,
where they will transfer a technology developed by either DoD or a civil agency, and they'll allow a private company to adapt it for whatever use they want, and it's great.
Do you think government or the private sector can do that better? Seriously.
I think when you take obviously the funding's
right.
an important part, and if you get private investment into a private sector project, then I think they can do it faster and better. But when you have the government with all their resources, obviously they can come up with just about anything.
I think it depends on demand. If there's demand for a particular technology out there from the general public, I think that the private sector can do it well. I think in this case, we're talking about technologies that was originally demanded by the government, and I think in that case, the government has to start it, and then through programs like you suggested, do a transfer.
I think Tyler was on the right point when he talked about, what Elon Musk is doing.
That's the 5th time you've agreed with Tyler tonight. I'm getting worried here.
Let private-public partnerships spur innovation.
Right. Yeah, our second topic, Citi is about to lay off 94 in Hagerstown. What's that going to mean for Washington County?
I think that's already started. I think that there are organizations in our community that unfortunately have an ebb and flow of work, and they expand and they contract, and that's a business decision they make. I think you have to look at Citi on the whole and others as well, and look at the overall contribution they've made to this county, and I think on that scale there is nothing but positive things to be said about Citi. And I feel for those who have lost their jobs. I know one of the people, and I know that she got a really good follow-up employment because of the skill set she gained at Citi.
Do you realize that when we built Citibank in the mid-'80s, there were 3 buildings built, 20, and there was to be 700 per building, 750, 700, 2,100 people. There's 1,800 works out there now. One of the wings is not really operational, but there's still a tremendous base in Washington County. So those 94 people, you'll find those 94 people back by Christmas time probably, and somewhere else, and the total employment will be just where it is today.
Yep. Best wishes to our fellow Washington County citizens. Our third topic, a suspicious package was left at an IRS building that left 10 people sick. Scary.
So did they figure out what was in the package?
I did not see anyone that anytime they figured out what was in the package. Apparently the package smelt like ammonia, and the 10 people that were sick, they were complaining of nausea and watery eyes, but they were in the end fine.
And it's sad because there's always a lot of hatred towards the IRS because they take a third of your paycheck every month. But it's sad that somebody would do that because they don't realize that those people that are working there at the IRS, they have no control over the IRS taking your money. They're just there to try to get employment just like you are.
But they did it in Kansas City, Missouri. That's I wonder, question why they did.
Yeah,
again,
probably somebody local.
I bring up Goodwill all the time. We do the mail at the IRS in Martinsburg, and our people have to be trained to look at. First, you have bomb sniffing dogs when it comes off of the truck, and then you have our people that handle it first, the very first people that handle it, and the training that they go through is unbelievable.
Yep, and at large places of employment or colleges and universities where there's a whole bunch of people, it is scary that an attack like this could happen at any time just because of one nut job. And you know, I go to Penn State. Look at our fellow Big Ten school, Ohio State. They had a terrorist connected with ISIS just drive off onto a sidewalk and injure a bunch of people, kill a couple just this past year. So at any point, you know, it's scary what getting together in large amounts of people do, but we can't live our lives in fear. West Virginia's Democratic governor just announced he will flip to the GOP. Ken, what do you think about that?
I think it's hilarious. I really do. You know, just because, you know, you and I both know that people go down the ballot box and they don't vote, you know, a lot of times based upon who it is. They just vote based upon which party it is. Oh, that one's a Democrat. Check. Oh, well, he just switched to Republican. That's not fair. It's still the same guy.
Straight ticket voting's at an
He just
all-time
switched
high.
parties.
Yeah, and that's problematic.
Well, I don't know that he just switched parties. I'm not so sure that this wasn't a plan all along. The guy ran a good campaign. He's got a lot of money. He gets along with the president really well. The president won West Virginia by 42% over his next closest rival. So the guy decides he didn't get the support from the Democratic parties, and I can do for you more as a West Virginia. I can't do anything for you as a Democrat, so I'm going to change my political party. He better hope that the bottom doesn't fall out of the popularity of the president in West Virginia, and it comes up the next time for a vote that he takes a bloodbath.
Well, he can switch back, you know?
Yeah, he always can.
Yeah, well, don't call the governor an opportunist, though, because during the presidential election, as a Democrat, he did not endorse Hillary Clinton explicitly, even though she was at the time looking like she was going to be the president. And then now, as President Trump's approval ratings are dipping, he goes and
Switches to GOP.
and gives him a big
His timing's a little odd.
Is that a good thing to do, switch parties when you get angry?
Not really, but I don't think it's that he's being angry. I think it's that he's whatever it is he's seeing. I don't know what's
What's
exactly
he seeing?
his
Well, I can tell
reasoning
you what he's
was.
seeing. He had a nice little talk to in the.
All right, our last topic for Fast Five. Chicago holds its annual rubber duck race in the Chicago River. They dumped a gigantic box of rubber ducks in there, covered the entire river. It was all to raise money for the Special Olympics.
Rubber ducky,
Yeah.
you're the one.
Don't give up your day job.
And
Special Olympics are good.
yep, I love
can I
that.
say?
I have a cousin actually who competes in the Special Olympics. He has autism. It's one of his favorite things that he does. He does bowling and powerlifting and snowshoeing. He loves all those. And Chicago, they really like messing with their river because on St. Patrick's Day, if you've ever seen it, they pour a bunch of orange powder in there and it turns the whole thing green.
So you think we could implement something similar in Washington County?
We have it.
We've done rubber ducky races?
Yes, over at the
have.
Funkstown Fire Department
That's
in
awesome.
the Antietam Creek.
Well,
Yeah,
let's do it in the
I remember
Potomac.
the
That out.
Antietam Creek.
Huh?
Yeah, I remembered at the Antietam Creek. I just want to know what plus orange equals green.
Apparently water.
That's a little scary.
That's all for Fast Five. Stay tuned. The last call is next.